Hello, friends. Greg James here, and we are in number 2 of our series on why a barndominium. Why even consider barndominium? Well, today I got a good one for you. We're going to talk about airplane hangar homes. I've done several of these over the years. And obviously, if you own an airplane, a lot of people want to consider having their airplane in their garage. How cool is that? Just walk out and check on your plane. So obviously there's a lot of, housing developments that have a airstrip down the middle. Some have a grass strip, some have a paved runway, and you have the homes that are off the usually they just line the airstrip. And then, but a lot of people that are passionate about aviation find this very attractive. And so you can't beat a steel building cost-wise and as far as efficiency of use for an airplane hangar. And so today I'm going to share a project that we did, I think it was a couple of years ago, or I believe it was in Arkansas. I can't remember for sure, but let's get into it. I'm going to share it right quick. We'll start with the, we'll have to go through the size of the building. I can't remember what size the building was, but we'll look at that. And so this is a home we did for a couple. Let me see where. Anyway, I can't remember whether it's, once again, I want to think it was in Arkansas somewhere. And because I believe this gentleman was connected with Walmart somehow. So Walmart's located in Bentonville, Arkansas. And so he found a really nice lot, and him and his wife wanted to build this airplane hangar home. So now let's look at the floor plan first. So I said that already, didn't I? Sorry, I repeat myself. Okay, so we got our airplane hangar here, and the building is 60 wide by 100. Okay, so the overall is 60 by 100, so 6,000 square feet. So in today's market, just the shell itself with the foundation, you're probably looking at about $40 a foot. So about 240,000, 250,000, some change for the foundation and the steel building. Now that's not going to include insulation and doors and all that sort of stuff. That's just a kit in the foundation. This particular, what they decided to do, they wanted to put, they had a corner lot, and the taxiway came right by, it was this area here, and then the runway was out along this area. So the house faces the runway, which is pretty typical. And I did some calculation. This particular home is right at about 2,700 square feet. So that's pretty sizable. It's they have a master bedroom on the first floor here. Change my. By the way, if you're wondering what software I'm using, I personally use Chief Architect. We no longer use Chief Architect because we do a fair amount of commercial work. So our team uses a program called Revit, which is an AutoCAD offshoot. And so, but it's a 3D program as well. So, but back when I started, I used Chief Architect, and my team used Chief Architect. So the only downside, Chief Architect is really driven toward traditional stick frame, wood frame construction. So you have to go through a few gyrations with it to make it work for what you want, but it does okay. So anyway, so here's a master here. And if you notice, I have these steel column here. So because I always like to put my steel in to see where it's going to land. Okay. Obviously, we want to be sure it's not going to interfere with this shower here. So I put that in there as a reference point just to be sure. And so that's our first, what's called bay. This is bay 4. So the frames are numbered. So there's bay 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there's frame A, which is a main steel column, frame B, and so forth. Now, okay, so let's stay with the floor plan here. Nice little kitchen. This was just a husband and wife, so just the two of them. I think their kids were grown. So yeah, just a couple living here. So still plenty of room for two people. But as you'll see here, they got a nice pantry, nice kitchen, really big laundry room that comes in off the hanger. Their main, like I said, they did a porch across the entire front of this. Their main entry is facing the runway, which is cool. And let's see here. So you got your stairs, you got a mechanical room, and then he wanted a bathroom in the accessible from the shop, from the hangar bay. So you got both. You got this duals as a half bath for the guest, and it also duals as a bath for the shop. That's really, really nice feature. And let's go up top. So go up one floor. You have an open area here down to the first floor, an open wood railing right across here, and then you got bedroom 2 and bedroom 3, and they just mirror each other. But really nice setup. This would be great Airbnb if you had a good situation where you wanted to build an Airbnb with an airplane hangar attached. That'd be kind of cool. Somebody could fly in and rent this place. How cool would that be? All right, so let me show you. Let's go back down and we'll kind of just look around. And I'm not sure what the inside of this looks. When you go in 3D on this stuff, you have to do a lot of work to it to make it look decent. But we'll see. It looks okay. So here's kind of the inside of the space. Like I said, really, really comfortable for two people. Not too small, but not too huge. You know, that's the door of the bathroom right there. You got your stairs, door to the laundry room. Nice kitchen, really big island. That's really nice. Good view out toward the taxiway here over the sink, and then nice views out toward the front where the main runway is. And okay, speaking of runway, if you're going to there's a shop, I mean the hangar, plenty big. Oh my gosh, you got tons of space. Get your plane in there, put your vehicles, put your toys in there. And let's see here. It's kind of an outside shot. So, okay, so I want to talk to you about the doors on these things. So obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of hangar door companies, but it seems like everybody that's come to us likes this one particular door, and it's called a higher power door. And it's a clamshell bifolding door. So this just rolls straight up into two pieces, and then it extends out like a clamshell. So I want to take just a second. I want to show that to you. All right, hang on. So it's called high power doors. I think they're out of Wisconsin or something. I can't remember. But here's a picture of the door here. Here's a little video that shows how the door operates. That's the neat thing about this. It has this cam system. And I don't know. Let me click on this video. I don't know if you could see that or not, but it should show the door rolling up. So how cool is that? The thing I like about these as a designer and slash builder contractor, these don't put any stress on your building. This door is completely self-supporting. And that makes a big difference in the engineering going into your building. As you can see, it does have that huge brace that goes across the front. You could paint that hot pink if you wanted to. That'd be pretty cool. I believe you can get windows in this. The door comes. Um, the door comes without the metal. If I remember correctly, last time I got submittals and got all the paperwork from the supply manufacturer, this door comes with no sheeting. That's put on by the contractor that's installing the door. And then you can insulate this door. You know, we'd recommend spray foam it with closed cell spray foam and be real durable. So anyway, that's the door. So that's most common. I know there's a lot of different types of doors, but it seems to be pretty much all the clients I've dealt with, that's the door they want. And cost wise, I can't remember. I think I did another hangar home in Arkansas for a lady that was a pilot, and she wanted, it was always her dream. I think she had a Bonanza, and she had always wanted her own, you know, home with her hangar attached. So her plane's right there. Like I said, it's just, I think it's, if you're not a pilot, you probably wouldn't understand that. So I took some flying lessons years ago. Unfortunately, I was not able to get my private. I ran out of money and time, so my kids were young, and it just wasn't a high priority to spend all that money on a hobby. So, but anyway, it's a great scenario. So now, okay, so one thing I want to point out to this: typically, this door, it's easier to put a large roll-up door, hangar door in the end wall of the building. Okay, when you're dealing with metal buildings, the manufacturer, their language is when they're looking at your building, which is just a box. Okay, this is called the front end wall, FEW, front end wall, right side wall, left side wall, rear end wall. Okay, so that's just, when we're designing, we specify, you know, right side wall, left side wall. So anyway, this is in the right side wall. Now, obviously, there's a beam that has to support this roof. So this is a bit more expensive because you have to put a large transfer beam across here to support this this roof rafter coming over the top here. Okay, and so this is a little bit more expensive way to do it, but because of the layout of their lot, they were on a corner. Their taxiway was coming up this way. They had to enter off the taxiway. That they didn't really have a choice, and they didn't want to rotate this building, for obvious reasons. They wanted this real cute little porch to face the runway, which totally makes sense. So anyway, that's why this particular door is in the sidewall of the building. But just remember, when you're doing large garage doors, any type of large opening, hangar door, something like that, you put it in the end wall, it's a whole lot less cost. Just FYI. And all right, so anyway, we'll wrap up our video with this. And hang on just a minute. Give me a second. Yes, I'm a real person. I'm not AI. I make lots of mistakes. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. And if you have a hangar home, and we've done a lot of them, and they're not hard to do. There's different systems we recommend obviously for a hangar home. I would do a pre-engineered steel building. I wouldn't do post-frame building, although we design a lot of post-frame structures. It can work, but I just think the pre-engineered steel building is the way to go, because it's a large building, plus you're putting a huge door opening in the side of this building or in the end of this building, and that all needs to be engineered. And depending on where you're building now, a lot of air parks and stuff, they probably don't have city permits and stuff because they're out in the country somewhere, out in the county. And but still, I'd recommend a pre-engineered steel building of some sort, and whether it's I-beam or truss leg, like Worldwide Steel Building does a great job with that. And so anyway, that's our take. Airplane hangar home, can't beat it. You get a lot of square footage. Now, the thing is too, is you can lower that house portion down to just one story and hook that on the front of that building. And so you got two buildings. You got one big building for your hangar, and then attached to it, you got a lower building. That looks nice too. In this particular situation, they wanted to just go ahead and optimize the fact that they're going to have two-story anyway. They wanted one big building and might as well use it. So they put those two bedrooms up top. So they end up with a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. So they had a full bath member up top for each bedroom. They had a dedicated bathroom. So like I said, man, that'd be a great vacation, getaway home, Airbnb. That'd be amazing. Think about it. You could park your plane in there, but Airbnb out the front of that thing, pay for it. That'd be awesome. And with 3 bedrooms, I had an Airbnb guy that I designed. He was a retired banker, and he went into the Airbnb business, and he built Airbnbs in down around Texhoma, Lake Texhoma, and North Texas and stuff. And he said, beds on heads. That's what he said. You make more money, more heads on beds you got, more people that unit will sleep, the more money you make, because that's how you charge. And a lot of people rent these places, especially for family gatherings. So 2 or 3 families for Christmas or Thanksgiving or something, to go in and rent this thing for, $1,500, $2,000 a night, but it sleeps 12, 15, 16 people, So this particular floor plan I showed you could easily be converted for that. And that'll be probably our next video, Airbnbs. I've done a bunch of them, and you can't beat a barndominium for an Airbnb. So I'm Greg James, and thanks for tuning in.